avoid moving to Winnipeg, Manitoba unless you can handle these 5 negative. Like my culture, my name is Ben. I'm with Keller Williams Real Estate Office. If this is the first time on this channel and you want to know about living, investing, sleeping, waking, walking in Winnipeg, Manitoba, make sure you tap the subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified anytime I do a new video. I'm also smash the like buttons. So because we got so many people reaching out to us about planning moving to Winnipeg, and we absolutely love it. So if you're planning on moving to Winnipeg, give us a call, send us a text, send us an email, and wherever you want to get to us, because we got your back in moving to Winnipeg. Today I'm going to be talking about the fact that you shouldn't move to Winnipeg, Manitoba unless you can handle these 5 negatives. So the first negative thing about Winnipeg, Manitoba is sometimes the politics around here. Yeah, just few months earlier, we had a little bit of riots going on in Winnipeg, and you could see I think it was all over. I even have people down in Africa reaching out to me about what's going on in Winnipeg, Manitoba, what's going on with the truck drivers, what's happening, you understand me, and things like that. And there was a little bit of rioting going on with the truck drivers. People were putting on their mantles saying I stand with the truck drivers. Though there was riot in some part of Winnipeg, but it wasn't something that was a big deal anyway. It was just a carcass between the truck drivers and the government based on vaccination and things like that, and it wasn't a big deal. I actually I'm not a kind of person who pays much attention to the news, but when something is important, it eventually gets to you, and I got to just check it out and I had to check out what was actually happening, and I found out that there was just a little bit of I think it's been resolved now, but it was everywhere, and that's basically it. So everything is safe. It wasn't much of a big deal. It was just a little bit of conflict between the truck drivers and government as a whole. I think it's been resolved now, and everybody's is going about their own different businesses. So that's the first thing you should know. The second thing you should know is the max mandate. Now, concerning the max mandate, though it's been, I think right now the government is not making it mandatory to put on max in Winnipeg, Manitoba, but I think it's a culture here right now, and it's like a culture, people are used to it. If you go into any store, you're always asked to put on your mask and things like that. I think before before we can stop putting on the mask, it's gonna take a while, because of the fact that it's now like a way of life, and people, if you walk into any store, they still put on their masks and things like that, and everybody still goes around putting on the mask. Unlike some other cities that people are getting used to not putting on the mask anymore, but here you go anywhere, everybody's still putting on the mask. I think the government is not making it mandatory, but it's at the discretion of different stores owners to make sure to determine if you're gonna come in with a mask or not. So I think that's the second thing you have to take note of if you're planning on moving to Winnipeg, Manitoba. The third thing about moving to Winnipeg, Manitoba, I think it's general. It's the friendliness of the people here. People are friendly down in Winnipeg. You look at people, they smile back at you. I think it's a Canadian thing. People are friendly. They're willing to help. People like the diversity of culture, friendliness. And this part of the world brings to you. Then Winnipeg is going to be a good fit. So the fourth is actually the weather. I know people have talked about the weather. Winnipeg could sometimes be harsh. We had a really, I would, well, I say a little bit of harsh winter this year. It was really tough, you know. I think I met someone and he was saying that we've not witnessed this kind of winter since probably 19, is it 50s or 30s? I can't really remember. So I've not been born then yet, but the winter this year was really really tough, you know. But all the same, it was also a nice experience, you know. Participating in winter activities, you know, having fun, you know, with friends, and things like that. So if you're someone who would not who don't like winter, or who don't don't like to stay in an atmosphere that is pretty very cold, I think Winnipeg might not be a place you like to live in, because Winnipeg sometimes the winter can be heavy at times, you know, can be heavy. This year it was quite heavy, so you might want to avoid Winnipeg if you are not someone who can acclimatize to different weather situations. And that's the fourth thing I would like to say about Winnipeg, Manitoba. Now, the fifth thing I would like to say is the African stores. Now, in Winnipeg, Manitoba, there are not lots of African stores, especially African restaurants and African. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm African. You know, I'm African, and I've wanted to live in a place in which you have lots of African stores, but unfortunately, especially restaurants, bars, you know, because I sometimes like to, you know, chill with my beer sometimes, and you know, I only have probably one or two spots in which I go if I just want to hang out with friends, you know, and just me. There's just a few places in Winnipeg that you can have that, you know. And I would love that we have more of these African restaurants and bars, you know. And so avoid moving to Winnipeg, Manitoba, unless you can handle those five things. So that's all for that. So if you're planning on moving to Winnipeg, like I used to say, give us a call, send us a text, send us an email, however you want to get to us, because we got your back in moving to Winnipeg. And until my next video, I'll catch you later.